Good morning. Yes, it is morning. What's the weather doing today? It's bright. There's some sunshine at last. Oh. Well, always guaranteed to have a good sleep on this bed. I'm glad I made such a good job of it. Well, me and my friend Tom, who you saw in the last video, helping me fix the window. Anyway, let me get up because there's some news. One van life news anyway. And I need to wake up a bit. Right, let me get up and I'll be able to chat some more to you. That's better. Oh, got me a cup of tea. Got to start the day with a cup of tea. So, welcome back to the channel. And yes, I know, where have I been, what's been happening. You say on your channel, new video every week, and it's gone over a week, you're quite right. I did have it all planned that I was going to, and did attend, a van life meetup, which was at Shaftesbury, just near to Salisbury. And I was in two minds about going. And in the end I did decide to go, and Tom, who helped me with the window, he's got a camper van, and at the last minute we decided to go and just do the Saturday night, and we got a bit delayed with getting ourselves going, but we got there. It was 9 o'clock at night by the time we got there. All was good. We'd taken a nice drive. The sat nav decided to take us on a bit of a scenic route from coming out through Salisbury, rather than taking the A36. It decided that there was going to be a better route going across the country roads, which was interesting. But anyway, we got there at just gone 9 at night, I think it was, and as I said, the drive was all good, and pulled up at the entrance where there was a couple of the event marshals who were there to greet me and to say whereabouts for me to park. And it was just as I was pulling away from them that, as I looked in my driver's offside mirror, that there was quite a bit of smoke coming from my exhaust. Got side entry, exit exhaust, which has never been seen. You know, I've not had any smoke issues from the van when it's running, and just thought maybe it was a bit hot. But thinking back, the drive there, yes, was done briskly because of the time, but wasn't driven hard. I mean, I've certainly had moments where I've driven the van harder, and as I pulled around and to follow the track to where they wanted me to park up, there was quite a lot of smoke. Thankfully, with my friend behind with his headlights on, I was able to see what colour the smoke was, which I will come back to in a minute because that's quite important. So anyway, as I pulled into where they wanted me to park up onto the soft wet grass, and I'll come back to that point, well, there was just a cloud of thick heavy smoke followed me, and I turned the engine off, obviously. Was a little bit concerned, but with it being very dark, there wasn't really much point in trying to have a look around and see what was wrong, if anything was amiss under the bonnet with regards to the engine. So I waited until the next morning. which was the yesterday morning, and got the bonnet open, had a look under the bonnet, couldn't really see anything that was wrong. There was no leaks, there was no broken pipes or damaged pipes, no melted wires or anything like that. Everything looked good. So went round and had a look at some of the other vans. There wasn't a big turnout, I think due to the fact that there was also another van life event going on at the same time over the weekend, the bank holiday weekend. So managed to talk to a few people, but my main concern was I need to get and try and diagnose, see what's going on with this van. So we were hoping there wasn't going to be any further rain on the Sunday, but there were showers, and as I said, we were parked on soft ground, and I had been waiting for the ground to dry a bit. And the main sort of entertainment there was watching and then helping other people that had not managed to get off of the wet grass onto the track. So helping them to get out. And funnily enough, it seemed to be all the people that had all the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres were just sinking straight down on the spot, spinning their wheels and needing help from other van lifers there to get their vehicles back onto the track and get going again. Funnily enough, my van was the one van that managed to get back up onto the track without it sinking, and I don't have BF Goodrich tyres on. I just got normal road tyres on, so that was interesting, but I felt at least triumphant at that. But there wasn't any white smoke. There wasn't any warnings coming up on the dash, you know, little warning lights or funny little messages on the LCD screen in your cluster, the clocks, where the clocks are on your dash driver. So I thought, well, I'll drive it out from the site and see how well it goes. I'll just be gentle. No overheating issues, you know, there's no leaking water or anything like that. And yeah, I'll jump back now to about the smoke coming out. There's three main colours of smoke that can come out of your exhaust if there's a problem. So you can have a very black kind of smoke. That's not a good one. That's a lot of oil being burnt, which would pretty much 9 out of 10 times point at piston rings. And if you've got piston rings going, then that's a biggie and a big one on your wallet. The other one is blue smoke, which can definitely be a case of indicating a problem with the turbo. Most vans, diesel, turbo diesel, you got a turbo. That as well can be expensive, replacing the turbo. And you could also, a cross between those two, have water mixing in with the engine oil, which is a cylinder head gasket, because the water goes round the engine, and if your cylinder head gasket has failed, then that's going to allow that cooling water to get into the engine, mix with the oil. And an easy way to look at that, never mind what colour smoke, is just put your dipstick out, pull your dipstick out the engine and have a look and see what it looks like. If it's not oily looking or black oily looking like used oil, which everybody's got in their engines, then it's going to look like cream, a coffee coloured cream. And another way is your water expansion tank, or your cooling expansion tank. If that's gone creamy or oily inside, yeah, you got big problems and it's going to be expensive. So anyway, getting back to white smoke is quite often associated with too much fuel going through the system, i.e. the engine is delivering too much diesel through the cylinders, and the excess diesel is burning and creating a white smoke. And another way to tell this is don't do it too much, but just don't put your nose right up to the exhaust. But if you can smell a strong smell of diesel out the exhaust, then it's burning too much diesel. Well, before I started all my travels with this van, one of the things that I last had done to it was a Mercedes remap for better economy. Yes, more horsepower, but it actually produces a better MPG. So I had that done. So it's meant to be using less fuel. I started the van up this morning. There's been no white smoke, but smelling around from the area where my exhaust comes out the side there, it does smell quite strong of over diesel being used, over amount of diesel being used. It shouldn't smell that strong. So I've done a bit of researching and I have found out that it could most possibly be diesel injector or injectors that are failing, because it's only happened the once, it hasn't happened since. And if a diesel injector is failing, it could be allowing too much diesel into your cylinder and burning, obviously, as I just said earlier, burning too much diesel. So that could most definitely be the problem. The only way I can really find out is I'm going to have to get the van into a garage and see what their diagnosis is. And of course, as it's a van, and it's a big van, you can't just rock up to any old garage and say, can you have a look? Because a lot of them, one, their garage doors don't open high enough to get a high top Sprinter in, and two, if it's a normal car garage, the ramps can't take the weight of a Sprinter van with everything, you know, converted, blah blah blah, which I've come across a couple of times. So I am going to travel back into Hampshire to a garage that I know that did some good work with the van before I went on my trip up north. Go back to them, see if they can try and squeeze my van in just for a diagnosis and see what they find out, and whether or not at the squeeze they can get my van in and do the work quickly so I can continue my wonderful van life vlogging videos that you guys see, so you won't be waiting weeks and weeks. So it is a case that I might not be around for another week with a video, but more than likely the next video you'll see will be me going to a garage with the van and going through the process of seeing what's actually up with it, what the garage think, whether it's just its age and it's actually quite fine and it just decided to have a belch of white smoke. It seems a bit far out there that it's not a problem. I think it's the signs of a problem beginning, which if I catch it now is certainly going to be cheaper to sort it out now, rather than going to the full pain in the arse thing of ending up coming to a standstill on the road somewhere in the middle of nowhere and not being able to get any help. Yes, it jumps into my mind, should I pay out for, you know, roadside breakdown recovery? It's not as cheap as if you own a car and getting RAC or Green Flag or AA roadside recovery for a car. Because you're in a van that's 3.5 ton, they can't easily move it with one of their little VW transporter vans. They've got to come along with a low loader, so hence it's going to take some shopping around for best prices and cover for getting I suppose camper van motorhome breakdown cover. So I've got to do that. That's what's been happening, and hopefully, as I say, next time I do a video for you, it will be getting the full diagnosis of what's up with the van, what recommendations the garage makes, and how long it's going to take to fix. You all know what garages are like. Drop it off. Oh yeah, we'll have it done in 2 days. We'll find what's wrong. We'll order the parts. They'll take 24 hours. We'll get it together the next day and then we'll give you a call. And then a week passes and then they call you and say they haven't done it yet. But anyway, the garage that I've used are a good garage. So I put my faith and my trust in them, and hopefully we'll have this van going again. But of course, it does mean I've got to try and find some places near to each other to be able to keep, well, not travelling, but just be able to stay in the area until this garage can fit me in. And as I say, hopefully get all things working again properly and get back on the road. Anyway, that's enough of me babbling on for now. I'm going to finish my cup of tea. I'll see you in a week's time for an update and let you know how the van is getting on. Right, cheerio for now. See you soon. Oh, hang on. Cup of tea. It's getting cold. That's better. See ya. Why did I do a thumbs up? You're meant to give the thumbs up. on the page that you're looking at, the little thumbs up, you click on it. And you click on the like. That's it. That puts the thumb up. Yeah. And subscribe if you haven't already. See ya. Did it again. Look, I can't resist it.